What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Edgar, and to be totally honest with you, I'm just some random dude on the internet that likes to share his thoughts and try to give advice that nobody asked me for. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Now, if you have been here before, you're probably wondering where I'm going. This is a change of scenery. I'm usually just filming in my living room, so this is new. And the truth is, I don't know. My wife went out of town with her mom, and I'm usually with her on the weekends, and my friends were busy. So I thought I'd just go for a drive because I was going crazy being in the house. I've never filmed in my car before, so hopefully there's not some sort of like weird hum. If it is, this video might end up being useless, but I just, wanted to do something, so here we are. Anyway, when I said I didn't know where I was going, I was being serious. I just got in the car and started driving. I don't really have a destination in mind, but it's relevant because lately I've been thinking a lot about purpose, finding your purpose and figuring out where it is you're going in life, right? I think especially for younger people, those of us who are in their 20s, maybe even younger, we're under this pressure to have a plan, or better still, we put this pressure on ourselves to have a plan, right? Like we need to know what it is we're going to do. Are we going to go to school? Are we going to get a job? If we do get a job, what field is it going to be in, It creates this amalgamation of thoughts, right? The bastard child of anxiety and the thing. And I think a lot of this is only worsened, when friends and family ask us like what it is we're wanting to do, where it is we're headed, and we just don't really have an answer for them, which really just makes us feel worse about ourselves and ends up leading to overthinking, which leaves less time to think about what it is we want to do with our life. And it's this fucking vicious cycle of just uncertainty. But I'm here to tell you, things don't have to be like that. After reading countless books and watching interviews of really successful people, I'm convinced that nobody ever really knows where they're going. We're all just out here pursuing our interests, going after what has our attention at the moment, and just trying to figure it out. I think I've mentioned before that I work in human resources, but what I haven't mentioned is that the place I work at is this art manufacturing facility, right? So we work with artists from all over the world. And this last week, we had an artist show up, Brian Youngin. Great artist, by the way. If you don't know him, check him out. He does some awesome sculptures. Anyway, this last week, he showed up to the job, and he said that he just wanted to do something, right? He wasn't sure what, but he was there to try to carve out a path, I guess, figure out where he wanted to go with his next sculpture and just find inspiration. And the way he was going to do that was to just try things, throw some things together, try out different materials, work with some of our employees who have helped him in the past, and just figure out what he wanted to do. And the funny thing is, life is like that in so many cases, right? Like take me for example. I was just driving and I ended up in a place completely opposite direction of where I was headed. But the thing is, sometimes you just have to get started heading in the general direction of where you think you want to go, or doing something that semi-interests you, and along the way you will probably end up finding something that really catches your attention and that you enjoy doing. And the crazy thing is that if you never get started, you'll probably never find that thing. But we get so caught up in this having a perfect plan and having our purpose and pursuing our passion and knowing exactly what it is we want to do with our entire life that we just don't start doing anything, and we end up in this rut. And in that same vein, part of why I started YouTube is because I want to do my own thing. I want to build something that's meaningful to me and that will leave a legacy, and that will help people truthfully, and just thinking about it long term. I don't see how I could do that working for somebody else. So because I don't know where I want to go or what it is I want to do exactly, I figured I would get out of my comfort zone, put myself out there, and start making YouTube videos where I give people advice and just see where that goes. I'm not sure if it's going to take off or not, but what I do know for sure is that I'm going to learn something, right? So it's helping me grow as a person overall. It's making me a better speaker. It's teaching me skills like video editing, which I never thought I would ever learn. So regardless of whether or not this is the thing that I end up doing for the long term, I know that I'll get something out of it that I can carry with me no matter where I end up going. Another thing to keep in mind is humans, we're ever-evolving creatures, right? We're always changing. Our moods are always changing. Our tastes are always changing. Our interests are always changing. And so for many people, this idea of finding a passion is bullshit. The way I see it, a passion is ultimately just a very intense interest, and these interests may change over time. But with that being said, one piece of advice that I would give to all of you, and shit, even myself, truthfully, is to lean into those interests. That's what makes life enjoyable, right? And if you're not the person that ends up having one passion their entire life, which can happen, but I personally think is rare, your interests are what will lead you to the things that you enjoy. I don't know about you all, but I do believe in destiny to a certain extent. The thing that you're seeking is also actively seeking you. When you start pursuing your interests, you'll be heading in the general direction of the things you enjoy doing. And what this will ultimately lead to is for you and the thing you're seeking to cross paths. But if you don't take any actions and you're just hoping that your biggest dream will just collide with you at random, the chances of that happening are pretty fucking slim. Anyway, y'all, it's getting cold out here, so I want to wrap this up with just one more thought. I recently came across this quote by the poet Rumi, and in it he says, "As you start to walk on the way appears." And that was kind of the basis of this whole video, right? Because after a certain point, you just have to take a leap of faith with what your interests are, right? You have to lean into them. You have to start doing things that will align you with your interests and that could ultimately lead to the things that you want to do in life. And even if you don't see the way that you're going to get there, even if you're unsure of all the steps it takes, or if you don't have all the equipment that you might need, you just got to do it anyway, because as you do the thing, as you learn more and more about it, everything will slowly start to make sense. But you have to take those first few steps. Actions lead to clarity, and clarity, well, clarity leads to success. And with that, I'll catch you all next time.